And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show, sponsored by Hometown Tire here in Marshall, Texas. I'm Adam P. Ledyard here with head football coach Brian Mayper. Coach, welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
And we're coming in off a great win over Belhaven University. So first of all, let's just get right to it. Let's talk about this win. You guys come back off the road in Alpine, come home, back to the Piney Woods, get on your own field, and you come away with the 28-17 win over Belhaven University, now 2-2 on the year. Talk a little about that game.
First thing, it was very hot outside.
It was.
I think they were dehydrating, and luckily we didn't have many cramps, but I thought our guys found a way. That's kind of what we talked about. We knew they were going to be a really good team. They played Mayor Hardin Baylor real close 2 weeks prior to that, and just knew they were going to get after it. We had a lot of big plays, which was key. Again, we just told our guys find a way to get things done. We had the 85-yard touchdown, kind of an RPO read we had. Their linebacker went across, and Jalen Blanton catches it, and he's gone. He could run pretty fast, so that was a good way to start off. And then defensively, made some big plays too. So I know we had, AC, had the hit in the end zone. They discussed that for a while. I don't know why they discussed it, because, he plowed him in his back, and the ball went out pretty quick. And I still don't know. I think Reed recovered it, Josh Reed in the end zone. So it was good. We had a lot of big plays.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. Is that was kind of a difference in the game, was those big plays and stepping up. And especially there were some big defensive plays. Them driving down the field and getting close into almost to the red zone, into our territory. They stop them, and our offense takes over and moves forward. So a well-rounded played game for you guys. A gritty game. They came in ready to play, and it was a great game. If you guys missed it, go to etbtigers.com, and we got highlights up there. So, Coach, with these big plays, you had players of the week for your team. We know Anton Clark got the Tri-Defensive Player of the Week for the conference. Tell us who your players of the week were this week for ETBU.
Well, defensively, it was two defensively. Antoine Clark, obviously he made, I think he was 15, 16 tackles, several caused the fumble, which ended up causing a defensive score, which is great. Just had a great game all around. So he did a super job, and then stepping in for his first start of the year, started off as a receiver, had played both in high school, but KJ Kelly, probably one of the biggest hits we had all year. The guy hung on to it, so give him credit. I don't know how he did, but that was kind of the crowd just jumped up and oohed.
Yeah, you could hear that.
And he too, he was in double digits tackles, a couple pass breakups, so really impressed with how he did. So those were co-MVPs defensively. Special teams, didn't give it to him last week because we had someone else. So this week gave it to Jordan Estes. Got his first combined tackle. He's usually the guy running down there really fast and misses the guy first all the time. This time he made a tackle, so that was impressive and had great snaps. The first two games we bounced a few back, but the last two games he's done really good. So gave that to him because obviously the punt game, you got to be able to snap the ball, and they were coming after it, and our punters were able to get it off him plenty of times. So that was really he did a good job. And then offensively, key player. We talked about Jalen making the big play, and he had a lot of yards receiving, and but overall we thought Davian Carter. Davian really stepped up. Had I believe 3 third-down conversions that were key on the scoring drives, a 4th-down conversion where we're going to possibly punt it or run a play, and he picks up that first down. And then the touchdown he scored on, that was, I think, 65-yard?
Yeah.
65-yard, just hit him on a quick post, and he called that thing was gone. So, and Brian had to get it to him. So, you can't say anything wrong about Baca. Baca obviously stepped up and saw the plays and took advantage of it. So, but Davian did a super job, and we're pleased. But, we've kind of put the ball all over the place this year. Running backs, receivers, it's good to have options.
Yeah, last week it was the running game against Sul Ross State. This week it was the passing game. So each week you just kind of tweak to see what's working better for that against those defenses. So definitely. It's great to hear that those players being successful. There's not a like a name player like in the past. Each team has had like a superstar or the big time player. This year, it's kind of even across the board for everybody. So it's nice to see because you never know who's going to get that stat on that game.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it kind of goes into our verse of Hanitas. I mean, we're all there together, and if we're unified, someone else is going to step up and can play.
Yeah, and that's the great thing to see in year two as you keep building up the program. So let's talk a little bit American Southwest Conference before we talk Mary Hardin Baylor. A little bit of a shake-up this week in the conference. Louisiana College beats Howard Payne 27-21, close game. Sul Ross State beats Southwestern 21-9, which was a little bit of a shocker. And then the big one was Texas Lutheran upset Hardin Simmons in Abilene, and then Mary Hardin Baylor shut out McMurray University. So never know what's going to happen week to week in the American Southwest Conference.
No, and early it's everybody's got hope. Everybody's got hope to vie for that conference championship, and we dropped that game to Texas Lutheran and give them credit. I mean, they do a super job. I'm sure I hadn't seen the film, but obviously defensively, you probably got after Hardin Simmons pretty good. Hardin Simmons used to scoring a lot of points, so they stopped that, and probably came down to the turnover game, I would guess.
Yeah, it was 3 defensive scores. That was the difference, yeah.
So, they're doing a great job, and LC and Howard Payne kind of flashes back and forth, and LC is the same thing. I mean, they've hit big plays. They've played really good against other people, and I mean, you never know unless you're there in the game.
Yeah.
So hadn't seen those games, but the conference is, to me, the toughest conference in Division III, hands down.
Yeah, like we said, week to week, you never know which team's going to show up and be better in that time, because you could play somebody in the bottom tier that will knock somebody off the top tier, and like you said, one of the best in Division III.
Oh, yes.
So talking about the best in Division III, you're going to face that this week. You got to go down to Belton to Crusader Stadium there and take on defending national champions. How are you guys preparing to go down there and face this team?
Game plan is not going to be much different than last year. I'm sure they know that, seeing what our strengths are. Obviously, if you're going to sit back there and chunk it up, you're going to give those 2 safeties that are really good, All-American type athletes a chance to make plays. I mean, they're going to play sound, and basically their philosophy is our athletes are better than yours, period. I mean, they play really simplistic defensively, pretty simplistic offensively, may have a couple trick plays, but I mean, they go hard for 4 quarters. So, we got to be able to run the ball, obviously. Got to be able to run the ball against them. They got to be able to take advantage of holes in the defense, throwing the ball. And then defensively, we just got to step up and slow them down. We're watching Belhaven, and Belhaven did a pretty good job slowing them down. Howard Payne offensively did a good job moving the ball against them early until they kind of cranked it up in the second half. But, same game plan. Balance attack offensively and, play hard for 4 quarters and eliminate mistakes.
Yeah, it seems like each week they have gotten better. They started off slow. Granted, they're undefeated, but their first 2 or 3 games, the scores were kind of close. And then these last 2 games, they've just been very, very offensively minded out there and shutting the last 2 teams out. So it should be a very, very good game for us as we head down there, and maybe we can go down there and sneak one away with a victory.
That's the plan.
Coach, all right, thanks for talking to us here on the ETBU Coaches Show. Thanks for tuning in today on GoETBUTigers.com on the ETBU Sportsnet. I'm Adam P. Ledyard. Thanks again for Hometown Tire for sponsoring our Coaches Show. You need anything here in town to go check out your tires, oil change, Hometown Tire. Thanks for watching, and check back next week as we'll have Coach Mayper back to talk a little more Tiger football.